I'm a bad motherfucker.
So, Concerned Citizen tweeted this out. So, this is the former Prime Minister.
Remember her?
Of the UK, Liz Truss. Remember
her? Are you prepared to nuke somebody? Or are you prepared to use nuclear weapons? Remember that? We were laughing about.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Looked like a spelling bee. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Not should you do it, but you're probably going to do it.
So listen to this. So she's on with Steve Bannon.
Sloppy Steve. So sloppy, so sad. He's a drunk. We know it. We all know it.
So let's watch this. Is he?
Look at his face.
I can't tell. He looks
that
good.
Bleary red nose.
I think he looks good. Here we go.
Is what I found out when I got into number 10.
So here's what she found out when she became prime minister. Watch this.
Is I thought that if I got to the top of the tree, I would be able to implement those conservative policies.
So you think once you're prime minister, as a little girl I was thinking, if I get prime minister, I'll be like Churchill, I'll change the country.
Exactly.
That's not how it works.
Exactly. And what I discovered was that I was not holding the levers. The levers were held by the Bank of England, by the Office of Budget Responsibility. They weren't held by the Prime Minister or the Chancellor. And
what's the name of this show called? Shit You Already Knew with Steve Bannon? And by the way, very ballsy of her to bring this up now that she's out of office and nobody will really hear it.
Well, like she was in, she could go, hey, it's crazy. Hey, Hermione, back when you were at Hogwarts, that's the time to bring up the issues with the school administration.
She didn't bring it up. Here, she's got more to say.
I think that's a massive, that's a massive problem.
Hang on. You're saying the central bank, the Bank of England, is one of the things that controls. Are you a conspiracy theory person? You almost sound like Worm. You're MAGA.
What I'm saying, Steve, is that if the Bank of England governor can't be sacked and the Prime Minister can be sacked, then the Bank of England governor is going to have more power than the Prime Minister. And that is a problem in a democracy.
What are you, Putin? Why is she saying it like she's running for office? And that is a problem. She's like amateur Vivek Ramaswamy delivery.
I mean, I'm glad she's saying it. She's saying she found out that the governor, the guy who runs the Bank of England, can't be fired, but the Prime Minister can be. Because she's not prime minister anymore.
So she didn't look into the technicalities, the technical parts of the contract being prime minister until roughly the time you looked into that bad European tour deal on your contract, is what you're telling me. The Prime Minister of England.
Yes.
Hey, this isn't a good deal.
I'm supposed to go do this in 2 months. This isn't a good deal.
I thought when I get to the top of the tree, I have the levers.
I thought when I sell out a theater in 5 minutes in England, that I'll actually get paid for it.
Guys, Western Clash of Civilizations, we're in the good one. Remember that. Western Civilization. Best one there is.
So but here's the thing. Do you believe her that she thought that when I got to be the UK Prime Minister that I thought I would be in control, and that's when she found out she wasn't?
Mm-hmm. Can I be honest? No. I hate to say it, but no. I guess because she said it like she's delivering
like she just
open
found
mic.
Yeah.
And because she's doing all the Bill Clinton hitting the word things and looking around at the crowd. Well, let me put it this way, Steve, instead of just simply saying, yes, the deep state is real and it's all fake, I should know. Instead of saying like, let me say it in a real, if you boop 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 2024, like she's saying it like she's running for something sometime. What is this that they're at?
I don't know what this is that they're at, but
and Steve, if we are going to fight China in the wars of tomorrow to defend China, Israel, aka Taiwan.
So she's just revealing that as former prime minister, she's not running it, that the banks are running it. You know, so when you hear people say all wars are bankers' wars, now you know why they say it.
Wow.
Now you know what I say.
That's because they hate
when
Jews.
I tell you that the people who run this country aren't the people in Congress. They're not the people in the White House. They work for the people who run the country. The people who run the country are a global, international handful of billionaires, and they're the ones who have creating failed nation states all around the globe that create this immigrant refugee problem that are flooding the Western world right now, and keeping the borders open. And they're keeping you from health care. They're keeping you from a living wage. There's no infrastructure in the United States. We don't have bullet trains. They have them all over China.
Jimmy.
We don't even have decent subways in the United States. Tucker Carlson proved that. And when he told people that, we're a nation of adult children of alcoholics. We don't get angry that we're being fucked over, that our subways are disgusting in the richest nation in the world. And you go to some place like Russia and they're pristine and beautiful and they all have health care. They're not pissed off at that. They're pissed off that Tucker Carlson told you about it. They're pissed off that's what an adult child of an alcoholic does.
Jon Stewart.
They're not mad at the alcoholic. That's right. Jon Stewart.
Are you sure?
They're not mad at
didn't imagine what Dad did to you?
So children of alcoholics don't get mad at the alcoholic abusing them. They get mad when someone points it out.
Plea for sanity.
That's what yes. That's what we are. We're a nation of adult children of alcoholics. We're not mad that we're being screwed over, that our cities are being systematically ruined, that you're being denied health care that doesn't bankrupt you if you get really sick. You're being denied your health. Your education is an enormous expense. You don't have good infrastructure. You don't have good public transportation. You don't have clean, safe cities. People aren't upset at that. They're upset that Tucker Carlson told us about it.
Jimmy, did I tell you that I've been telling this? I mean, people sometimes get it, don't, but I did one of those personal inventories of all the money I blew getting high on drugs for 20-something years. Yeah. I finally did it. And it's a lot. It's like
is it enough to put out a hit on a journalist?
Yeah, no, I could do like 3 botched Tucker Carlson jobs and still have enough left over for 3 days worth of life-saving insulin out of pocket with no insurance.
I couldn't even begin to add up all the money I spent on weed and booze.
It's better than needing insulin. What drugs you need just to live if you don't have insurance. And that's like you have an addiction where you're a bigger loser than a fentanyl addict because you just need to spend all this money on a daily habit that's ridiculous, that doesn't get you high, and other people that's like luxury that they can blow their money getting high. That's what a crazy ass country this is.
Okay, I have one more quick story. Over to Steph.
All right.
Hey, I'm putting a lot of my money, my retirement money, into precious metals, gold and silver. Why? Because lots of people I trust with money, Max Kaiser's one of them. He's a big Bitcoin guy, and he told me gold is a good hedge against inflation, and gold is a good hedge against the stock market. And so did Carol Roth said that. And then also, who's the guy who wrote the book from Maui, my friend? Why am I blanking on his name? Ed Dowd. So they all said this. So I'm with them. And so I'm putting that into this. And I decided to partner with our sponsor to do this, Colonial Metals Group. They're helping me set up a secure, self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market and no matter what the government's doing. So let a team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We've put together a special offer for our audience. Get this offer. Listen to this. You click on the link in the description below or call a special 800 number and you'll receive a safe and up to $10,000 in free silver. Then the number to call is 888-910-1419. 888-910-1419 or go to colonialsmetalgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-.
All right, girl. Things people love about you is they believe you tell it like it is.
Says it like it is. He speaks the truth.
It's about time we have a man like Trump in here. They ain't afraid to tell it like it is, man.
We like him. He tells it like it is.
He says what he means. I honestly believe he's telling the truth.
She has no natural talent to be president.
She's very talented, and she has a husband that I also like very much.
Hillary Clinton was the worst Secretary of State in the history of the United States.
Hillary Clinton, how did she do as Secretary of State? Probably above and beyond everybody else.
Let's say Hillary is president. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. I will build the wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it, and they'll be happy to pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for that fucking wall.
This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize, okay? Listen, you motherfuckers. I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
We'll beat the shit out of them.
Political bullshit.
You're not going to raise that fucking price, you understand?
Donald, true or false, you've said the government should pay for everyone's health care?
That's false.
You've never said that.
Everybody's got to be covered.
Universal health care.
I am going to take care of everybody.
Who pays for it?
The government's going to pay for it, but we're going to save so much money on the other side. He said I was in favor of Libya. I never discussed that subject. I was in favor of Libya. We would be so much better off if Gaddafi were in charge right now. Gaddafi in Libya is killing thousands of people. We should go in. We should stop this guy, which would be very easy and very quick. Stop him from doing it and save these lives. They're here illegally. You take them, they have to go back.
We have to show some compassion.
Right,
we just can't throw everybody out.
They have
so you're going to split up families.
Chuck,
you're going to deport children.
Chuck, no. We're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep them together out.
But they have to go.
How do you throw somebody out that's lived in this country for 20 years?
North Korea has nukes. Japan has a problem with that. I mean, they have a big problem with it. Maybe they would, in fact, be better off if they defend themselves from North Korea. Maybe we would be better off. Including with nukes. Yes, including with nukes.
And they said, I want Japan to nuke. I want Japan to get nuclear weapons. Give me a break.
But if you say to Japan, yes, it's fine, you get nuclear weapons, South Korea, you as well, and Saudi Arabia says we want them too.
Can I be honest with you? It's going to happen anyway. So it's only a question of time. I'm a conservative person. The Republicans are just too crazy right. I mean, just what's going on is just nuts. Bush says, I do not believe he's a true conservative. These people are stupid.
Do you identify more as a Democrat or a Republican?
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. The economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists.
What do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party. Wages too high. We're not going to be able to compete against the world. I hate to say it, but we have to leave it the way it is. I don't know how people make it on $7.25 an hour. I would like to see an increase of some magnitude.
Do you believe voters have a right to see your tax returns before they make a final decision?
I don't think they do.
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely.
There have been many presidents that have not shown their tax returns.
Actually, every single nominee since 1976 has released their tax
returns. Before
returns.
1976...
Nobody was worse to women or abused women more than Bill Clinton.
Look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant.
She's married to a man who got impeached.
They tried to impeach him, which was nonsense.
He was impeached for lying.
I'm the only one on the stage that said we should not go into Iraq.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
Honesty, Carter once said, I'll never lie to you. Would you say that, the American people?
I would never lie. When I'm president, I'm a different person. I can do anything. I can be the most politically correct person that you've ever seen. I can be the most politically correct person in the world. And I can be the opposite. The president has to be a great leader, and you have to lead by example.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Like to punch him in the face. I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
Blood coming out of her, wherever.
He's a war hero because he was captured.
I like people that weren't captured, okay?
I don't know what I said. This guy will say anything.
Certain that Donald Trump has ever read outside of his own is the book of Hitler's speeches he kept next to his bed in the 1990s, according to his ex-wife. His ex-wife, he was very pissed when she released that information, okay? Because at that time he was still liberal. He didn't want people to know it at that time. Somehow she fell down the stairs and cracked her head open, right? All right, so we're going to get into this, and I'm going to show you this, all right? 92-year-old C-SPAN caller said he met Trump's father, a fan of Hitler and dictators. During C-SPAN's Washington Journal call-in segment, Pete, who identified himself as a 92-year-old from West Palm Beach, Florida, said Trump's father, Fred Trump, visited his village and was a fan of Hitler and dictators. Pete implied Trump got his views of dictators from his father. Now, keep in mind that Donald Trump was a libtard his entire life. Children are often heavily influenced by the views of their parents. Trump's father and Trump were sued for racial discrimination in housing, and Fred was once arrested at a Ku Klux Klan rally for failing to disperse. The 1927 article reporting the arrest doesn't make it clear Fred Trump's status or association with the Klan. Don't his actual loyalties to the brewing years of World War II if they happen to live in the greater New York City region. New York and its suburbs in Long Island and New Jersey had a vibrant community of first and second generation German Americans, the latter having included Fred Trump Sr., a rising star in real estate and retailing. Also active in New York, New Jersey region was the German American Bund, or Amerika Deutscher Bund, an organization that supported Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party and the goals and aspirations of the new Germany. The Bund had been created in May 1933 on the orders of German Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess. The first Bund leader was German immigrant Heinrich Heinz Spacknobel, who initially called his group the Friends of New Germany. In fact, the Bund was nothing more than an overseas extension of the German Nazi Party, and it took its orders directly from Berlin. Outside of the town in Windham, on American soil no less, right? The height of the Bund's activities was a February 20, 1930 rally at New York City's Madison Square Garden. This is the rally that I'm talking about right here, okay? This is the rally that Enlightened Master is telling you that Donald Trump's father was in, okay? Sir Norman Vincent Peale was Donald Trump's 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason pastor. This is the seal of the 33rd degree. It's also the family crest of Donald J. Trump. Okay, Albert Pike, who is the most famous Scottish Rite Freemason of all time, was the head of the Knights of the Golden Order, who later changed their name to the Ku Klux Klan. I'm going to provide it. Okay. I'm not going to be nasty to people. I'm just going to provide the information. All right, that's what I'm going to do. The elder Trump was publicly, he was even sued for it, publicly known to be a racist, and he refused to rent his apartments in Queens and Brooklyn to African Americans. Wow, that must be a coincidence. In 1927, there were few organizations for far-right extremists like Fred Trump to join. One was the KKK, which had its roots in the post-Civil War Reconstruction South. Another was Italian lender Benito Mussolini's overseas Fascisti, which was primarily composed of Italian immigrants to the United States. By the early 1930s, far-right wingers in the American North were fast to embrace the Nazis, and Kunz Bund was able to ready to answer the call and begin recruiting in its ranks. Fred Trump's FBI file, which includes the 1927 arrest at the KKK march, appears to be missing his pre-war and immediate post-war year activities. The file does not resume until the 1960s, when the FBI began monitoring the elder Trump's association with mafia syndicates in New York. Brother, remember I told you and I've showed you unequivocally that his brother had everything to do with the murder of and the torture of Nikola Tesla. In New York, old man Trump also suspiciously volunteered after dodging World War II draft to construct Navy barracks and garden apartments in at least 3 highly sensitive Navy ports in Chester, Pennsylvania, and Norfolk and Newport News, Virginia. Yeah, that's right. He was a draft dodger, to all you Trump dodgers out there. All three ports saw thousands of Americans and Canadian troops embarked for combat in North Africa and Europe. Some of these ships fell prey to German U-boats, which received intelligence on the Allied ship movements from Nazi agents in the very same port areas where old man Trump so generously bid on construction contracts with the Navy. Right here, with the Navy. Let me repeat his treason again, okay? All three ports saw thousands of American and Canadian troops embarked for combat in North Africa and Europe. Some of these troop ships fell prey to German U-boats. In other words, Americans got killed because of Donald Trump's father, which received intelligence on the Allied ship movements from Nazi agents in the very same port areas where old man Trump so generously bid on construction contracts with the Navy.
I suppose old man Trump knows just how much racial hate he stirred up in the blood parts of the folks in New York State. He drawed that colored line that we fought in the last war, and we ain't got no home in this world anymore. Beach Haven ain't my home. I just can't pay the rent. My money's down the drain, and my soul is badly bent. Beach Haven looks like heaven where no black folks gone to roam. No, 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 oh man Trump. Beach Haven ain't my home. No.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit